Yes, it hurt. Shelley was saying, now I know why you need a sleep number bed. My name is Cary Mullen, and my sleep number setting is 35. I feel so privileged to join you here today. I've met some of you already, but just an amazing group to be able to be invited as an outsider to come and share in an experience and share some stories of outside of everyday life of pursuing excellence in one field. And you're going to be able to draw parallels to that for yourself. I want to share as an outsider being able to come in and be invited and learn more about the organization over the last 3 months. It's amazing to me that you've got such a unique, prominent product. You've got such a strong culture and family feel. And you've got this rare opportunity and now this big vision to go with it. It is just a rare opportunity that I hope you seize and hope you quest for. For me, it's amazing to look at all the elements that you have together. And I love this emblem that you have here that matches up, this sleep well, dream big. It's just, it fits in what you are and at your core and how we get there. For me, my dream started as a little kid. I was 7 years old at a ski area called Sunshine Village, just outside of Banff, Alberta, Canada, on a run called Tin Can Alley. And I remember lining up with my little buddies, 6 of us in a row. We're all lined up. You ready? Set with little skis, little poles, little wool hats with a pom-pom the size of a grapefruit. You remember when that was cool, actually? We say, ready, set, go, we skate off and into our tuck, and we would bomb down this pitch, through a compression, off a jump, and through a mogul patch. And then we would cross this imaginary finish line we had. And when we crossed, we'd go, yeah, I get to win the World Cup. And I get to be Phil Mayer, my other friend would be Ingemar Stenmark and Franz Klammer, the heroes of the day. And we did that over and over, and we started to believe it. Now, what's interesting to me, as kids, we call that daydreaming, right? Yet as adults, that's a strategic technique called visualization. If we dream it, we visualize it, we start to believe it. My mom and dad love to tell a story of when I was a little 8-year-old kid. I was sitting in our family kitchen one day, and my mom walked in and she said, hey, Care, where are your old ski boots? I said, well, they're down in the basement. She and my dad walked down to the basement, and I followed them down, and I asked, well, what are you going to do with my boots? My mom said, well, we're going to give them to Justin down the way because he's just learning how to ski, and this way he won't need to buy new boots. I said, okay, but do you think when Justin's done with them, we can get them back? My parents were sort of looking at me quizzically, well, why, Care? They don't fit you anymore. And I said, well, someday the Hall of Fame's going to want my first ski boots. I was very fortunate that my mom and dad bought into that dream with me, and so did a lot of coaches, a lot of volunteers, a lot of supporters on the way and up the ranks. Now, we all have goals we want to strive for. My goal was to be able to win a World Cup. That was my dream, to be able to win a World Cup. One of the challenges I had with that was I didn't have early success. You know, to be able to win a World Cup, some of the successes along the way you should be able to achieve would be to win the Buster Brown Trophy, the local race when you're 8 years old. I share with you 5 years in a row I did not win the Buster Brown Trophy. And another standard was to be able to win the National Juvenile Championships. I regret to share with you I did not win the National Juvenile Championships. Upon years of analyzing why, I think the key reason was I didn't make the team. Wasn't even there. Another one was to be able to win the World Junior Championships. I didn't win the World Junior Championships, didn't get there, but I kept questing and was able to work with a lot of the best trainers in the world, sports psychologists, and learn from them, and finally was able to qualify for the World Cup circuit in the Olympic team. And that led me to be able to travel the globe and meet different cultures. And it was so neat to meet different cultures and learn there's more than one way to do things. We can learn different things from different people, different things from different cultures. And opened my eyes. And after being on the squad a couple of years, I finally qualified to race in Kitzbühel, Austria. Now I want to take you to Kitzbühel, Austria right now, the most feared and famed downhill in the world. And as we go there, I hope you think about maybe some of the things we're hesitating on, looking at this new big vision, or something in our role where we're expected to step up to, where we might be hesitating. When it's your first time to Kitzbühel, you take the Autobahn, you come off the exit, and you look up, and you see the finish pitch, which is a 52-degree Zielsus pitch. Through the compression, you sail off the jump, you finish right in the town of Kitzbühel, an amazing carnival atmosphere that's there in the Austrian Alps. But as you go up the Hahnenkammbahn, and then you step into the start gate of Kitzbühel to have an inspection run, a look at this course you've been dreaming about your whole life, you click into your skis, and you can actually see a full 180-degree panoramic view of the snow-capped Austrian Alps. It's beautiful, surreal. And you look down. Between your ski tips at the town below. And ironically, the only building big enough to make out from over 2 miles away is the hospital. So this is when you're going to get to have a look at this course you've been dreaming about your whole life. You go to the start, and you're bouncing and chattering, and it takes you 30 yards until you can even stop, because what they do in Kitzbühel is they get the course workers to go out onto the track the night before the race with fire hoses. And they hose the entire track down so that it freezes sheer ice. Right before it freezes, they take their skis and they do these little chatter marks. That's what freezes unevenly. So when you're skiing, your skis will bounce and go out of control. So it's more spectacular on television. Thanks a lot. So here you find yourself on this 45-degree slope, but turn to the right, turn to the left. You're going to launch off at the first jump at a speed of 70 miles an hour. You're going to sail 70 yards off of that jump. Catch is, though, you can't see the landing. You've got to memorize just the right angle you're going to sail off of that jump. Then you come into the Stahlhang turn, which is a convex turn, and it exits that turn from a 52-degree turn 4 inches from the net. Some turns we have room for error, that's not one of them. Then you come down to the Zielschuss at the bottom of the run, which is a 52-degree slope on a 45-degree side hill with whoopie-doos. And as you're standing there, you all of a sudden get a flashback of your teammate, Todd Brooker, that had his crash there, and you can't get it out of your mind as you're standing there going, this is the spot where Todd had his crash.
On practice run, Todd Brooker feels the impact of a high-speed wipeout. A spectacular crash which may indeed hasten the end to Brooker's career.
I share that with you. Todd recovered from that accident. He's a healthy guy today. He's got 3 happy kids. He's a commentator for ESPN. He's fine. He's fine. I share with you, up to this moment, I had been dreaming my entire life about getting to Kitzbühel, and now I was finally in Kitzbühel. I didn't really want to be here. I wasn't enjoying the challenge. I wasn't walking around going, oh yeah, here's an opportunity for growth. You're at the bottom of Kitzbühel trying to memorize the entire 2-mile track. You get into Hahnenkamm and it sends you up the mountain, and the stress is building in your body looking for a way to release itself. It's amazing. The entire track is sheer ice, but up at the start of Kitzbühel, it's all yellow snow around the start gate. We've all heard of liquid courage. That's liquid fear at the top of Kitzbühel. And here you are at the top wondering, can I do this? Have I taken any shortcuts? Have I done all the preparation? Have I done all the training? Uncertain. And what kept popping up for me is I want to win a World Cup. Someday this is a step to be able to get there. And I stepped in the start gate uncertain, but I pushed out, had to turn to the right, turn to the left. Came off the multi-poly jump, landed, had the right line as it came down through the Stahlhang, bounce low, but I missed the net by 2 inches. Before I knew it on the Zielschuss, crossed the finish line, looked up, there was Cary Mullen. I don't know what time it was. I can't remember what place it was, but I went like this, so wait, because I survived. It felt so good to make it to the bottom. The other rookie, Luke Sauter, and I went back to our hotel and put on the hit CD, I'm Still Alive. Dancing around, an amazing feeling of elation, an amazing feeling of growth. And I think often our biggest moments of elation and growth are precluded by what? That discomfort, that uncertainty. That when we push through that, that's when we can experience that kind of growth, that kind of elation for ourselves. Now, the first objective was to make it to the bottom, to survive. Now, how can we improve on that? How can we go to the next level? I don't know how you assess in your business different ways that you do that. In our industry, what we do is we do video analysis as one of the ways to do that. So we recorded ourselves on the mountain. How can we improve on this? So that evening, I watched the recordings with my coach, and we noticed an interesting element. As I saw when I started to come down the mountain and I'd hit the fastest, scary sections, I'd slightly go like this. I'd hit another fast, scary section, I'd go like this. You might not be up on downhill techniques, but that's not a very good one. That'd be like if you were driving down the freeway and somebody scared you and you jump in the back seat. Who's driving? I realized, okay, this reaction might be natural, but it's not optimal. I've got to retrain this habit. Can we retrain a habit? Sport has taught me yes, we can. We can retrain it. I looked for a different way to be able to do that, different options, and hatched a pretty simple plan. After that moment, every time when we went on the fast run, and I started feeling that fast fear, I was starting to train myself, lunge forward, trying to retrain and recondition that response to fear every chance we got, every day, practicing it, lunge forward, day in and day out. Then started to look for everyday opportunities to train it even more. I got pretty good. I'd actually be walking through the park, and a big dog would jump up and bark at me, and I'd lunge at the dog. Retraining and reconditioning that. Went back to Kitzbühel 5 years later. It was a tough year. 8 of the first 15 racers were taken away in the helicopter to the hospital. But as we stood in the start gate, I said, this is what I've trained for. We've done all the training, we've done all the preparation for this moment, and I stepped in the start gate saying, this is what we trained for, prepared for in this moment. Stepping in, pushing and skating, trying to create the momentum out of the start gate, pushing and skating, got into my tuck. having that first turn to the right, setting up that first turn to the left, diving off the mouse to follow jump, had the right line as I landed, coming through the compression, lunging forward, then onto the left-hand ski, lunging forward off the Hausberg jump, carrying the speed onto the 45-degree Zeal shoes, letting the skis run into my tuck, and off on the 52-degree pitch. The finish through the compression, came through, sailed off the finish jump, sailed 88 yards off the finish jump, landed across the finish line, looked up, and that's when we set the world downhill speed record at 97 miles an hour. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I came to a stop, and the great Italian racer, Christian Godina, was standing there looking at me and said, "You crazy Kanak!" It felt so good to lunge into that fear. We got to lunge into that fear because our prize is on the other side of our fear. We got to lunge in and grab that prize. For you, I just ask you right now in your role, what can you be lunging into? Is that lunging in and going for this new vision with compassion and conviction? Is it lunging forward and being an innovator? Coming up and getting those new ideas and presenting them and implementing them, not waiting for someone else? Is it lunging forward, having that difficult conversation, or stepping up to the plate to the next level? What could you be lunging into? When we look at what you have in front of you to be able to set this amazing vision, this dynamic team, we got to lunge forward and go for it. We've got everything in front of us. We've got the sleep well, the dream big, the team assembled, and this vision. And to me, you are at an opportune time to be able to take your game to the next level. It's amazing for me to be able to be invited here to share with you and to be able. Before I go, there's one last thing I just want to share though. It's something that I brought that my mom gave me a couple years ago that she got back from Justin. Got my first boots back. They're so little. This can be a symbol for me and a symbol for us as we're out there. Sometimes we might seem too little, or sometimes our targets might seem too big, our obstacles might seem too big, but it is possible. I share with you with pride that I actually only have one boot here, because the other one's now on display at the Canadian Olympic Hall of Fame. Sleep Number, you've got an amazing leadership team, an amazing culture with a dynamic vision. Sleep well, dream big, and keep lunging forward. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks, guys.